Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. You're tuned in to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We've got Adam here. Jeff's stuck in traffic, so it's just the two of us hanging out.
Great start to the morning.
It's a wonderful start to the morning. Every day this week we've had someone missing.
First, you call off yesterday. I
Sorry.
die Monday morning. And then now Jeff is stuck in traffic.
And now it's freezing cold outside. I had to wear a winter coat. There was frost on my car. I now am drinking hot coffee.
You should be happy. Hot coffee is the best. Don't tell me you're a cold coffee person.
I like cold coffee.
How?
Because it's fabulous. You get more flavor, I think.
How?
Less coffee flavor, more flavors. You know what I mean? I'm
No.
hazelnut girl.
Who?
Hazelnut.
All right.
You don't put anything in your coffee, do you?
It's black every morning.
Ugh. Can't relate. Anyway, we have to get into more Michigan and Michigan State talk. We've got quite a bit of it today for you guys. I want to start off with, they're just whining. I can't even tolerate it. But we have a video. Players whining, the coach is whining, everybody's crying. Let's see.
Decided it's going to be left up to us. It's not going to be left up to them. So they're not going to call like all the tic-tac stuff. They're going to, I felt like his knee was up, but it probably wasn't. So I felt like it wasn't going to go our way. It's like it's like when you're an away team playing at home, it's going to favor to the home team more times than not.
Time for a few more for Mike. To the left, Zach.
I guess what have the last 24 hours been like for the team? I'd say.
I felt like it was just like a time of get everything out because Indiana's coming and they're not gonna it's not gonna matter if we're stuck on Michigan State or not. So
1 4th down play. Did you have a good look at that?
Yeah. As I said, I made my thoughts known as the game was going on.
Jim, on that first touchdown to Andrell Anthony, how special was that to sort of see for a freshman whose first catch, I believe, of the season, then also just being native to East Lansing?
Yeah, that one, and there was plenty more. He played outstanding. Really proud of Andrell.
Jim, can you talk about Walker's performance? I think he's the first back ever to have 5 touchdowns against Michigan.
Yeah, an outstanding performance. He's a very good back. Great back.
Jim, I was wondering, the fumble there in the exchange with McCarthy was obviously a big play. And he had fumbled a little bit earlier. Were you a little bit intrepid about putting him back in that situation?
Yeah, that exchange, didn't go smoothly.
All right, well, there you have it. They're crying, they're whining, they're doing all of it. Harbaugh is giving these poor reporters absolutely nothing. I would absolutely hate to be one of them, but he's just throwing, I think, the biggest fit. I know he's kind of
well, they should ask him better questions, honestly.
But they're doing their jobs.
I know, but they're picking at him to get that answer and that response. So
well, yeah.
I don't know
well,
why they would be
gave
miserable. Well, that's where, you should be like a good journalist and not ask the same question 7 times.
All right. Well, Adam, at the end of the day, your thoughts on the refs, and are these guys right? Did they blow it for them?
Let's just all, it's just me and Kennedy in the room right now. And last I checked, you're a Notre Dame girl, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm a neutral.
OH! I-O.
I hate
True.
you, Fish.
Go Irish.
Look, if you're objective about the game, the refs really did favor Michigan State. That's not a question. You can't debate it. It was in favor of State, but to be fair, the refs also did miss a few calls on Michigan, especially in the holding department. So, whether you want to walk away from the game, did the refs cost them? The answer is no. Hell no. The refs did not cost Michigan that football game. Michigan cost themselves that football game. Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, that miscommunication on the snap and the handoff, that's a bad turnover. Really bad. Led to points, led to a touchdown right away. Now tell me about Cade McNamara overthrowing on 3rd and short his wide receiver who had 2 yards of separation, would have been a touchdown. You would have been back up 2-3 scores. I mean, guys, you didn't make the plays when you had to make them. Cade McNamara was phenomenal in the first 2.5, 3 quarters. But when you needed something, when you needed to make a big play, Kenneth Walker was there making the plays. Peyton Thorne hit Jaden Reed on a dime near the goal line on 4th and 4. Michigan State made all the plays that were necessary to win that football game, and Michigan didn't. And it's that simple. Was his shin down? You know what? I'll give you that. I didn't see conclusive evidence. That doesn't mean it wasn't. But I didn't see, the obvious conclusive evidence that his knee was down or his shin was down and the ball was in control or out of control. I didn't see it. I didn't. So I can tell you, no, I don't agree with the call. But you were still up 30-16 at some point after that. Or, 30-14. It's not the ref's fault. Get over the referees. And one of my favorite sayings is never leave it in the hands of the referees. Talk about this all the time with the Lions. Don't put yourself in a position where the game is decided by the guys in the striped uniforms. You're always told that as a player. So no. The refs did not cost them this game. Were the refs slightly in favor of Michigan State throughout the game? Objectively, yes, to an extent. But it did not cost you that football game, Kennedy.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, Peyton Thorne didn't have the game that he normally does. I've been really liking Peyton Thorne this season, and he just did. In my opinion, he did not have a good game at all. I mean, it was ugly. I wanted to reach through my screen and be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's such an easy week to go at Jim Harbaugh, revisit the last 6 years, his failures to beat Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, whatever. But this wasn't like some horrible coaching job by Mel Tucker or Jim Harbaugh. That was the game of the century between these two teams. Was the first time they were 7-0 since what, 1963? Or 1964, excuse me. But still, you watched one of the greatest rivalry meetings between Michigan and Michigan State on Saturday. And all I got to hear about all week is Jim Harbaugh sucks. The referees suck. Mel Tucker, oh my God, amazing. Like, guys, Jesus Christ. We're such a reactionary, just a society in general. I don't get it. You watched a 37-30, was it 37-33, correct? That was the score? Yeah. So you saw a 70-point thriller on Saturday in a rivalry game against two undefeated teams, both ranked in the top 10 in the AP polls, now both ranked in the top 7 in the first college football playoff rankings poll. Unbelievable. And we're here complaining. Michigan still has their path ahead of them. And so does Michigan State. That was a great game of football. And had Michigan State been up 30-14 and thrown that game away, we wouldn't be talking like this. Why? Because Mel Tucker's only in his second year. It's because Jim Harbaugh has always lost that we're here talking about this. It's old. It's old for me. U of M fans can blame whoever they want. They can blame Harbaugh. At the end of the day, they didn't execute in game time. And game time is the fourth quarter. You look good through 3 quarters. You didn't look good in the fourth, and that's what cost you. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Adam, I wasn't here yesterday, so I have to hear it from you.
Okay.
All right. So you were kind of down on Cade McNamara. J.J. McCarthy went in, absolutely choked.
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. All right, look, guys.
Adam.
Guys, listen, I'm going to be very patient with people and trolls on Twitter about this kind of stuff. Let me tell you about J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is that same quarterback that threw a touchdown for you in the red zone on 3rd and what? 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6? Threw a dime to the freshman wide receiver in the end zone.
That was great.
And got you up. And everything was going great with J.J. McCarthy the entire game. Nothing wrong. You put him in the spots you wanted him in. He goes in. He runs towards the sidelines. He drops the ball. Really a mental error there, right? You're like, whoa, freshman, you can't do that. Can't make those kind of mistakes. You got lucky, it went out of bounds. Can't do that in this kind of a game. Cade McNamara goes to the tent. I don't know what he was being looked at for. Nobody knew this at the time, obviously. And, of course, there is a miscommunication in the handoff. Now, you can blame J.J. McCarthy. You can blame Corum. I don't care. But that instance didn't cost Michigan the game either. So you can't point to one singular event that costed this team the football game. And people want to dog and absolutely rag J.J. McCarthy. Be my guest. But may I remind you, it was Cade McNamara through 3 quarters who looked pretty damn good.
He looked great, yeah.
In a 1-game sample size, out of the 8 games he's played this season, he looked good in 1.
Mm-hmm.
I have 7 games telling me he ain't that good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, how he looked all season is how he looked in the 4th quarter. So for everybody at home overreacting and thinking like, oh, I told you Cade McNamara was better. No.
I didn't say that.
Let me clarify that. No, it's not true at all. JJ didn't cost them that game. If you want to blame a rivalry loss on a freshman, be my guest. But last I checked, your quarterback, your actual starting quarterback, missed an opportunity to hit a wide open receiver at 2 yards of separation, open in the end zone. He overthrew. He overshot him, and that was the end of the game. Those are moments you can have back a fumble. It wasn't the end of the world. You were still up 8 after the fumble. No.
Jeff, welcome.
I'm not all for it. Jeff, what the hell?
I love just joining
Jeff's
listening
here.
on Adam's J.J. McCarthy rant, which you're not wrong. I only heard the second half of it, didn't hear no lies. So,
Well, look, let's be honest. The kid walks in the first half, he puts you up 2 scores. Right?
Beautiful throw.
Well, you're up 10-7. He walks in, makes it 17-7. Beautiful throw on the run, a throw that Cade McNamara couldn't make in his goddamn dreams. All right, you move on. The game's going well. Michigan's in control, up 30-14, and McNamara's in the tent. Why? I don't know. I still don't know to this day. Okay, fine. When your head coach comes out and says, this was a botched play on both of them, it was Blake Corum. Blake Corum should have taken the handoff. That's why what happened.
Yep.
Well, okay. I can blame the quarterback. It doesn't matter who I blame. That's not the reason they lost the football game. And that's the truth. It wasn't the refs. It wasn't J.J. McCarthy. It wasn't any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality. So people can hate on J.J. Be my guest. I hope he transfers if that's the case, because that kid next year, if the team is talented enough, I think he carries them to a Big Ten championship. I think he's that damn good. And I think he's that dynamic. And if you want to play the rest of the year with Cade McNamara, be my guest. You saw what he gets you. 7 games of what the hell do I have? 1 game of, wow, he played really good. But then if you actually watch the film, the freshman wide receiver busted out for 94 yards. And he did a majority. Now, again, Cade McNamara threw a perfect ball. He put him in stride. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But he missed all the throws downfield. All of them. So I don't want to hear that Cade McNamara is significantly better and significantly more ready than J.J. McCarthy. No. If he was, he would have helped your team secure that victory, because your job as a quarterback is to lead your football team. And my leader in the 4th quarter couldn't hit a goddamn throw.
Yeah.
And that's the reality for Michigan.
Jeff, just to wrap up this segment now that we've got you, we played the post-game press conferences from the other day of Harbaugh, some of his players. Jeff, they're crying and moaning about the refs. Your thoughts really fast before we go to break.
My whole perspective on the whole ref thing changed when I started working with Joyke Bell, because I talked to Joyke Bell, and he says this thing, and I believe in it thoroughly. He says, when refs supposedly cost you the game, he says, I should have made a play earlier in the game. And that's exactly how I think this Michigan team needs to feel. Like, there was plenty of opportunities. If you want to take the shin being down and J.J. McCarthy fumbling after Cade was obviously in the medical tent. He came in for the one play, fumbled the second time, and they couldn't recover it. Like Adam just explained, Blake Corum, that could go either way. It's a bunch of BS, and I think that's an easy way out, because, listen, the team understands how big of a game this was, not only for their team but for their coach. I don't blame them for pulling out the ref excuse. Like, there's not a lot of options, and listen, there was plenty of opportunity. You're up 16, and the Spartans just go on a ridiculous run led by K9.
I know we have to go to break, but Michigan fans, please hear me out, okay? I know it's a tough week. I know you just lost to your rival. Don't overreact.
Right.
You're home to Indiana. You're a 20-point favorite. Go take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
You go on the road to Penn State, who will probably be ranked at the time. You got to win that game. You win that game, there's only one team in your way of greatness.
Yep.
And a potential opportunity to go to a college football playoff, and that's Ohio State, who, let's be honest, you have to play Maryland the week before. That's going to be tough. It is a road game, but regardless, you get through Indiana and Penn State, the cards are still in your hands.
Yep.
There's no guarantee Michigan State wins out. They still have to play Ohio State. They still have to play good football teams. This is not over. And this reaction that Harbaugh needs to go, and oh my goodness, yeah, he can't win the big games. He hasn't proven it. But if you want to get rid of him, do me a favor, get rid of him at the end of the season. But Michigan State's schedule ain't any easier than yours.
Still got to beat both of them.
They're away to Purdue, home to Maryland, away to Ohio State, and home to Penn State. A tough 4 games. Yeah. And you got a tough 3 games, Michigan. So wake the hell up. You still got it. You still have a chance. You go and beat Ohio State at home, all is forgiven. And you finish 11-1? Whether or not you're representing the Big East, the Big Ten Eastern, who knows? Who knows if you're in that Big Ten championship game in Indiana? But how about you shut the hell up and control what you can control, which is Indiana, Penn State, Maryland, and of course, Ohio State.
All right, and that concludes this segment. Coming next, we've got the Pistons and the Wings for all you Detroit fans out there. But first, the people that keep it cool over at Northwestern Tech.
Yeah, listen, you can start a new career in an industry that is always essential. It's Northwestern Tech, and it's the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. All right, we had 2 ugly losses last night. Very, very unfortunate. Let's start with the Red Wings. They hit their 10-game mark in a very tough fashion, being shut out 3-0 to Montreal. They've now dropped to 4-4-2 after a really hot start to the season. Kind of bummed out, but I'm not super worried about last night's game. They didn't have Dylan Larkin. He was out due to a personal reason. And then obviously Tyler Bertuzzi was also out because they were playing in Canada. You know, no vaccine, no playing. So that's where we're left after last night. Boys, your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, the Canadians, they came out and played hard. Now, obviously, we're missing Larkin. We're missing Bertuzzi because of the vaccine. And it showed last night. The Canadians were able to get double the shots on net than the Wings. The Wings weren't really able to keep it for a short period of time at all. And that's what happens. I mean, you're on the road. You're missing arguably your best goal scorer, your captain, Dylan Larkin, out for personal reasons. The cards were already stacked against them. And you got a goalie like Jake Allen who had he just had another shutout. I think it's his 2nd or 3rd shutout in 2 games. I mean, it's ridiculous what he's been able to do the last couple games. So I think the Wings were already, their backs were against the wall walking into this game regardless. A little disappointed that, they obviously got shut out. They lost 3-0 to a team that's, just arguably as bad as they are. But what are you going to do? I mean, this is kind of the, we're going to talk about this soon with the Pistons. It's the kind of uphill battle these young guys are battling. I mean, they're not going to win every single game. There's going to be games where you're kind of scratching your head, what the hell? And then there's other games where, you simply just accept it. Like if a team's missing Larkin, their captain, who is a majority of their assist guy, and you're already missing Bertuzzi, who what he can do when he's on the ice. I mean, you saw 4 goals game 1. I mean, the guy's been on an absolute tear. So those two players hurt. I mean, they hurt losing them. You can have Lucas Raymond all you want. He can't do it all by himself. And he had 4 shots on net, wasn't able to convert. Nobody had anything, a goal or an assist. So I mean, I would call it an anomaly, but you're going to see more games like this. You're going to see highs, you're going to see lows with this Red Wings team, with the Pistons as well. So, I mean, you take it with a grain of salt. This is what's going to happen when they go to Canada. Yeah, they played the Maple Leafs good without Bertuzzi, but it doesn't always mean you're going to be in every single game without arguably your best player. So, I mean, it is what it is. I take it with a grain of salt. Wings dropped to 4-4-2. They're 2-3 on the road. They played a majority of their games this season on the road, and they just haven't been able to really win them. And that's what happens with a young team, man. They got tough games ahead of them. So you take it with a grain of salt.
It'll be a long season. They're a young team. There's going to be weeks where they can't stop scoring, and there's going to be weeks where they couldn't buy a goal. And that's just the reality for this Detroit Red Wings team. They're young. It's okay. It's really okay. 3-0 loss, no big deal. No big deal. That's fine. They're gonna struggle throughout the year. This is a young team. You know what happens with young players? They're inconsistent.
Right.
It's all good. I'm still excited to watch this team. I'm happy about it. The other team, on the other hand, who played at LCA the other night, that's the team I'm like, how is it that bad? Honestly.
Yeah, they had all their players.
I don't mind the Wings losing 3-0 to Montreal Canadiens. That is not the least of my worries.
Yeah.
The Wings are a young team. I love their young core. The core is proven already. There's something there. I use this analogy all the time, guys. You know very early on if somebody has it. Doesn't take long. Now, some people bloom late, and that's acceptable.
Right.
It's not often, but it happens. So I'm willing to wait. But typically, you just know. Lucas Raymond hat-trick at 19 years old, you know.
Yep.
Sider, Rookie of the Month, you know. Cade Cunningham last night. Jesus Christ. I honestly, like, it's really bad. It really is. It's actually really bad from the sense, like, that's two really rough performances. It's not the end of the world. He's not a bust. I mean, there's no overreaction. But those are two really bad performances, and I'm seeing it from most of this draft class, especially the players that were taken high.
Yeah.
They're settling for threes. That's really bad.
And they're not hitting them. They were
And they're not hitting
13%.
them. Dude, like this, everybody has like Russell Westbrook syndrome right now. They're just jacking up threes and they can't hit them.
Nope.
Stop settling for those three-pointers. And it's not like they're taking them when the shot clock is winding down. They're taking them with about 12, 14 seconds in the shot clock. Can't do that. You can't do that as a rookie. 7 3-pointers, Cade. You can't attempt 7 threes without making at least 2 or 3. You can't. You can't do that. Stop settling. Get to the paint and work for your points. And if you're not getting the calls, oh well, you'll get them later. But don't just sit there and settle. That's what the defense wants. They want you to settle. They know you're coming off an injury. You got to get a feel for the game. And it's 2 games in. He needs time to recover and get his feel going. But, you know, unfortunate. You know, you never want to see that number 1 pick come out and struggle early. But it's not the end of the world either.
I think there's a couple factors also that play into it. Like, obviously, Cade, he was injured. He didn't really play in the training camp. And another thing is these rookies, like Jalen Green, when he debuted, he shot 4 for 14. He had an awful, awful game. And if you look at Cade Cunningham, he's been out the last, 6 handful of games. Obviously, the Pistons right now are 1-6. He's only played in 2 of those games. And he shot poorly in both of them. The first game, I made the argument, he was the only player in the starting lineup that had a positive plus-minus, regardless of everybody else in the starting lineup having a very bad plus-minus. So, and he shot the ball bad. So that's the good sign, you know. But this game, no excuses, obviously. They both, I mean, if your 2 best players or 2 of your 3 best players shoot the ball like they did last night, Saddiq Bey and Cade Cunningham. I mean, Saddiq Bey was 2 for 13 and Cade was 2 for 14. Like, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's hence why they only scored 89. Jeremy Grant can have the 21 points all he wants. It's hard when your team, your 2 guys that are supposed to get you a chunk of change isn't doing it. And you know what, Cade Cunningham, I don't like the 0 for 9 from 3. It's starting to make me think if that ankle's still bothering him. Is he settling for too many jump shots? You want him to be more aggressive. I mean, he didn't even take, 2 free throws last night. You got to take more free throws than that. Got to be more aggressive.
He's coming off an injury. I'm not going to overreact here. It's an 82-game season.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm not worried, but you know, it's a little disheartening. You're rooting for the kid. You want him to perform well. You want him to go out and drop 12, 14 points. But honestly, I see one problem with this team, and it's a self-awareness issue. Jeremy Grant thinks way more of himself than he actually is. Saddiq Bey is the same way.
Yep.
And the problem is when there's no star clear alpha on the team, everybody thinks they can be that guy. There's nobody on the team outside of Cade Cunningham who should be that guy. Cade needs time. Let him get his legs under him. I'm not worried about it. But Jeremy Grant probably traded at the trade deadline. That's what I think. Saddiq Bey, I think you're a good 3-and-D guy. If you could be somewhat of a Klay Thompson, that'd be amazing. But you're no ball-handling star player. You're just not. You're not a Lillard. You're not a McCollum. You're not. Your ceiling is a slightly similar version of Klay Thompson. You can play good defense. You can hit the 3. You can spot up. I mean, that is your ideal. And when you need to drive and dribble, you can do that. But that's not your go-to. That's not what Saddiq Bey is. Killian Hayes, still struggling. But, okay, like, team needs time. I'm willing to wait. No problem. But, Jeff, it's like a huge self-awareness issue here. There's one alpha on the team, and that's the number 1 overall pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone else should back the hell up. And that's what Dwayne Casey should be saying weeks from now. Not now, but weeks from now. When Cade has his legs under him, when he's in basketball shape, when he's feeling good and better. Hey, this is my alpha. Bay, you're my number 2. Grant, you're my number 3, etc., etc. That's how it should play out. That's it. That's what I think, honestly. Like, I'm not going to expect more than that. And if Cade struggles for the next month, I could care less. I could care less. Coming off an injury, I'm going to give him time.
Yeah.
Do I expect him to finish the season averaging 6-7 points? No. God, no. That would be awful. For a shooting guard to take a number 1 overall, that would be pretty awful. But that's not going to happen. Guy needs time. He'll start hitting his jump shot. But do me a favor, Cade. Don't settle for the 3. And if you're really not right, don't play. Just don't play. If you can't drive, if you can't dribble, if you can't do all this because your ankle's really bothering you, please don't play. It's actually not that important right now. The team's already bad. You don't need to be out there right now. Get right, and then go out there.
Yeah.
But don't go out there and just settle for 3s. You're not Steph Curry. You're not Damian Lillard. Stop this. Jalen Green, you too. I don't like Jalen Green, but if I can give him advice, stop shooting the goddamn 3. All you don't turn into Russell Westbrook on me, please. It's bad enough we have 1 in the league. Please.
All right, you guys. Well, coming up next, we've got Would You Rather Wednesday. You guys know the drill. I actually can't even take the blame for all these questions today, which is exciting. Adam can't just get mad at me because Fish helped me write them.
Yay.
So that is coming up next. I-O, Fishy. There you go. All right, but if you want to bet, the Pistons were set at what, 26 games? Are we still feeling confident in that?
Yeah,
over?
25.
Yeah. I mean,
I just wanted
set
to
at
check
25 and a half. I think by
There you go.
I think by January this team starts gelling and they go on a streak where through a 24 game span they win 15 or 16. I think that's where the majority of the wins will come post All-Star game. So
once Cade starts getting his legs under him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but speaking of that bet, I mean, I placed that bet on my bookie.
There you go.
Guys, let me tell you about my bookie. You can bet from anywhere, anytime, however you want, whenever you want, using the My Bookie website. Please sign up today using code Woodward, and they will match your first deposit dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. You put in $200, they'll give you $200. Or you're like me, and you put in, amounts of money you probably shouldn't. But hey, we cost people money yesterday. I'm sorry, Alex Westfall. I have to apologize now. I told him to put $130 on the Wings over 5.5 goals. It backfired, but I'm gonna pay him back. I'm gonna give him the money, and I'm gonna give him a better bet today. And the better bet today, he'll find out after the show. So I'm feeling good. I'll win him his money back. I apologize. Anyways, guys, again, it's my bookie. Sign up using code Woodward. I have so much fun with this. It really, the whole sports betting aspect, it's really taken sports to this like next level experience-wise. I absolutely love it. There's a game I don't want to be watching. I put $5, $10 on it, and now I'm sitting there on the TV. I can't get my eyes off of it. Guys, I love it. Use my bookie again. It's code Woodward. We'll see you after the break, but please, before I go, if you have a gambling problem, call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. As promised, we have Would You Rather Wednesday. Boys, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Okay. First question for the rest of the season. Would you rather have Goff rounded out or Case Keenum?
Why do you do this?
I don't
Jared Goff or Case Keenum?
Yep.
I'd rather have Case Keenum.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's not even close.
There's more that's to where I am.
If I had to start my franchise today with Jared Goff and $100 million available in salary cap, or Case Keenum and $20 million in salary cap, I'll take Keenum in the salary cap at $20 million.
The salary has a lot to do with it. Case Keenum, comparable. They both can win you games. They can lose you games. and you got less money with Case Keenum. So give me
Guys,
Case.
I would rather... Okay, here. How more bluntly can I be? I would rather you gouge my eyes than me have to ever sit here another year after next year and ever watch Jared Goff attempt to throw a football. I'm done. I don't want to see it. He's awful. Sean McVay, God bless you, man. How the hell you put up with that, I don't know. Jesus. Next.
Amen. All right. All right. Win now situation against The Ohio State University. Are you playing Peyton Thorne, but he plays like he did against U of M? Or Cade McNamara, but he plays the way he did before the MSU game?
What's my team?
It doesn't matter.
So if I pick Thorne, I have Michigan State. If I pick Cade, I have Michigan?
No, you just, like, whatever team, this is the quarterback that you need to win the game.
Because you could talk about the 2 interceptions, dude. The guy made plays. Fourth down plays.
Peyton Thorne made the plays when he had to. So he overcame his 2 bad interceptions, and in the fourth quarter, he was money.
The second one hit a helmet. I
know, but still. He overcame it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Turnover's a turnover. Pick is a pick. He overcame it. Dude made the biggest throw of all of college football on Saturday on 4th and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that out route. It was kind of a fade-esque route
right
to the
pylon.
I mean, it was beautiful to Jaden Reed. I mean, no, not even close. I'll take Peyton Thorne.
All right. Would you rather have Decker return to left tackle or have had the Lions pick up OBJ before the trade deadline?
Pick up OBJ. I'd rather OBJ start at quarterback than Taylor Decker at left tackle. And that's not a knock on Taylor Decker. So please, everyone, chill the hell out.
Yeah,
Taylor Decker's a very good left tackle. I just so happen to like Penei Sewell a lot more. And I think it's more important for his growth that he stays at left tackle his entire career. Yeah. And I think if you really wanted him to play right tackle...
We'll get into more of this later.
I know, but you would have kept him from day one. Oh, well, you had a backup at right, so you could move Penei to the left. It made sense. Duh. Whatever. Stop. Give me OBJ at quarterback over to Taylor Decker at left tackle.
OBJ, just because I would love to see that man anywhere else but the Browns. And listen, Decker, I respect the hell out of him, but at the same time, OBJ, I just like to see him in a Lions uniform. I don't know why. He might be just as bad because Goff can't get him the football, but get him in a Lions uniform.
I gotta say though, I actually thought the rumors of OBJ to New England were gonna go through, but it didn't. So he's stuck in Cleveland. Poor guy.
Poor soul.
Cleveland's they're not budging.
That whole state is messed up, so I feel bad for him.
OH, Fish.
I-O.
You missed your money chance. All right. Would you rather lose to your rival twice, so Packers, Bears, whoever you want, and win the division, but lose in the wild card round?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said first.
Would you rather lose to your rival twice and win the division, but lose in the wild card round, or beat your rival twice and miss the playoffs?
We'll probably lose to the Packers regardless. So give me the wild card and we lose.
But you win the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take the division title.
So because you're like, well, I'm losing to the Packers, but I'm still winning the division.
Yeah.
So Packers only got 2 wins on the year, and it's against me. So that's okay.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, no, I'll take the division title all year. And if you lose in the wild card, it happens, guys.
Oh, it happens.
I hate this.
Oh, it happens.
It
I
happens.
hate this.
To the Cowboys.
No, not to the Lions. Lions never win the division. But just in general, like just going forward.
Losing the wild card.
When the Lions do break through and finally win a division, whether it's now or in 2078, doesn't matter. I just want you to remember this. And even the great teams get bounced out. Remember the Patriots lost to Ray Rice and the Ravens that one wild card round at home, got blown out. It happens. You can win the division, dominate all year, losing the wild card. What's unacceptable is you just make an appearance every 12, 14 years. Like, hey, we're here now. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. We're in the wild card. Oh, my God. We lost by 60. Oh, my God. Well, that's not good. But, hey, we made the wild card. No. When you win the division, you've shown over the course of the season that you are a consistent football team. And I'll take that over a team that just sneaks into the wild card. That's simple. Any day of the week.
All right. Next, would you rather be the best punter in the NFL or the best backup QB? So would you rather be
I'd rather
Jack
be the best.
Fox
I would rather
or...
be the best backup quarterback any day of the week.
Why?
I have zero stress. I'm sitting there, and I have such an understanding of the playbook that I'm always going to be ready if they need me. But they'll never need me. I'm the backup. I'm chilling. I'm making $4, $5, $6, $7 million a year.
Was out there playing.
Case Keenum's out there because of injuries, but I'm just saying, like, most of the time, I'm not going to be out there. So I'm chilling. I'm chilling. And when they need me, I'm out there. Hopefully I don't get hurt. But hey, I'm getting paid $4, $5, $6 million to read a playbook, communicate game plan, go scout team, and chill on Sundays.
And everybody loves the backup. Everyone loves the backup. Look at David Blau. That guy. Apparently, everyone loves David Blau because of how bad Jared Goff is. If I'm the backup for if somebody, like Adam said, you're making $5 to $7 million, you're chilling behind your starter, and if you play bad, well, that's the backup. He's not he's not our starter. And if you play good, God, you're getting free steak in the city you're playing.
Kalen Jones in the chat. Right now, Decker is better than Sewell. Absolutely. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Is this a winning football team right now?
No.
Who gives a rip? Penei Sewell could be a top 3 left tackle in 2 to 3 years. You think I give a rat's what? That Taylor Decker right now is the better option at left? No shit, he's the better option at left tackle. Of course he is.
Like how you
what is he,
bleeped the word
8-9 year
before
pro?
that.
I tried so hard not to swear, but like this is so frustrating. I just don't get people. Can we all agree this is a rebuild?
Yes.
So why in God's name would I sit here and keep my veteran at a position that I took a kid number 7 overall for? We'll get to it later, but guys, please. Funky hit it on the nail. Chase Daniels made $30 million being a backup in the NFL. It's a good gig.
That is a good gig.
Take it any day of the week.
Who would you guys say the best backup is right now? I'm
in
going
the
Case
NFL?
Keenum.
Well, Case Keenum
I like him.
Case Keenum because he is so familiar with Kevin Stefanski's system. So he was the starting quarterback in Minnesota when Stefanski was the OC there.
Correct.
So that relationship alone makes him the best backup quarterback in the NFL. You can argue maybe Nick Foles. You argue whoever you want. I don't care. But for me, it's Case Keenum.
You agree with that, Jeff?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, you're probably right. I mean, who else would you really throw?
There's not a better one.
Yeah.
And there's no better situation. I think the situation is the trump card.
Yeah.
There may be a quarterback out there intangible ability-wise.
I guess
you want to say Cooper Rush after that performance. You want to say Andy Dalton. Be my guest. I don't care who. I'm going to go with Case Keenum.
Yeah. No, I think the only guy would be Andy Dalton, and still, Case Keenum's better than him.
Yeah, but the redhead can't throw. So
that's what I'm saying. So you're right still. I mean, it's a good pick.
All right, last question. Would you rather... And pay attention because it's a long one. Would you rather get to the Super Bowl but lose to a team with a fan base that has never won a Super Bowl? So Lions, Texans, Jags, fill it in the and be known as the team that gave them their first? Or would you rather get to the Super Bowl but lose to a team who has been an established success for a number of seasons, Pats, Seahawks, Packers, whoever you want, fill it in, and just be a footnote on an ongoing dynasty?
Well, this is a tough one.
That's tough because, either way, you're losing a Super Bowl. So you're not going to be happy either way. And honestly, I'm from the mindset of I don't care if we lose to the Texans. I don't care if we lose to the Bills. I don't care if we lose to the Steelers. It doesn't matter who you lose to. You lost in the Super Bowl. It hurts either way. You think because the Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-3 lead to the greatest quarterback of all time that they sleep at night like, it's okay, we lost to the Super Bowl, we got against the goal, it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay either way. Whether they lost to Eli Manning or Tom Brady, it was never going to be okay. And that's the reality.
Yeah, that's spot on. I mean, you're still losing either way. I think the way you kind of justify it is, listen, at least we gave our Super Bowl to a franchise that's never had one. But then again, it's like, no, that's bad.
Nice
you actually gave up a Super Bowl to a team that's never had a Super Bowl. So at the same time, you want to lose to
but that's circumstantial. You don't know. Like for example, let's say the Houston Texans acquire Joe Brady in the offseason. He has a good first 2-3 years, and they make a Super Bowl run in 5 years from now. Let's say I'm just totally throwing this out there. It's all BS. But anyways, let's say the Lions are somehow Super Bowl contenders in 6 years, and they meet the Texans. Are you going to be mad that a head coach who for 6 years has dominated the league, taken the Texans from a dumpster fire to a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Whether you lose to the Texans, the Jaguars, I don't care who it is. You lost in the Super Bowl. It's going to hurt either way. So I wouldn't get too caught up in the narrative.
You have no preference then.
I don't. No, a loss in the Super Bowl is a loss. I'm going to be pissed off either way.
All right, you guys. Well, that concludes Would You Rather Wednesday. Up next, we're revisiting the MSU and Michigan fan reactions. Stick around for that. But first, our friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Yeah, listen, we talk about defenses. Well, Guardian Alarm, they get it. And a good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today.
Stay out.
That is 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day. You have made it to the halfway point of your week, so that's something to celebrate. But some people who are celebrating, some people who are not. We've got Michigan and Michigan State fans all over the state just going absolutely berserk in both directions. We've got Michigan State who, they're now... Burning couches, flipping cars, smashing things. The cops are out looking for them now. I'll be interested to see if any students sell their fellow Sparties out. And then we've got the U of M fans still crying about their loss, blaming the refs, blaming Harbaugh. You guys, your thoughts on all of it?
So you weren't here, Kennedy, yesterday. We kind of touched on the fan base a little bit, so I wanted to revisit it because I thought it was really important. So the college football rankings came out, State's at 3, Michigan's at 7. And it feels like it's the end of the world today in Ann Arbor. I just don't understand Michigan fans at all.
The ego.
They're so naive, they're so snotty, they're so entitled, and you're sitting there at number 7 and you're getting respect from the committee. You know who's number 6? Cincinnati, and they're undefeated. You're getting respect from the committee. That was a good loss. When you look at strength of schedule and resume, that's a good loss. Now, if State craps the bed and loses 3 of the next 4 games, which I doubt they do, but then it looks like a bad loss. But still, your whole season's ahead of you, Michigan. Chill out. Did Harbaugh fail to deliver in the big game? Absolutely. Yet again. What a surprise. But last I checked, your program, your prestigious, illustrious Michigan, hail to the victors, your program has never delivered in the big game. What history do you have of ever winning a big game? A title in 97? A ton of shared Big Ten titles? Oh, you want to talk to me about pre-World War II? Congratulations. Look, I'm not here to just dog Michigan fans. I really don't want to do that, because I actually am optimistic for them and their program going forward. I just told you they have Indiana, 20-point favorites. Take care of business, go to Penn State, and win that game, and the whole damn season changes again. Don't go right now to Ann Arbor against Indiana and lose that game. Don't you dare, and don't make it close. Go out there, settle your business, get focused, go to Penn State, and attempt to win that football game. And if you do, that'll be your 3rd road win in the Big Ten this season. And that'll be the most you've ever had, considering the opponents they've played. Wisconsin, Nebraska, and now Penn State. That's great. That's good. That's a good season.
Yeah.
Michigan fans need to chill out. Whether you want to complain about Harbaugh or not, I could care less. What I do know is they have something going for them. Is it unfortunate they blew a 30-14 lead? Absolutely. You should be frustrated. But today, right now is not the time to Harbaugh needs to go. No, there's a whole season ahead of you. You can still win 3 of the next 4 games and be 10-2. Or You man the hell up, and you go beat your rivals, and you go win on the road in Penn State. You do that, you beat Penn State and Ohio State, all is forgiven and nobody's talking about this. Now, that's a big if, don't get me wrong. But still, it's ahead of you. It's ahead of you. It's all there for you. Focus on Indiana. Take care of business. Focus on Penn State. Take care of business. Visit Maryland on the road. Don't lose to Tua's brother. And you're walking in to the final game of the season 10-1. If I told you you would have been 10-1 heading into Ohio State in Ann Arbor, you would have told me, wow, that's a good season.
Yeah.
But because you can't accept that you lost to quote-unquote little brother? Hell no, they're not little brother. They've never been little brother, especially recently. They've won 10 of the last 14 meetings against you guys. They've won Big Ten championships in those 14 years. They've won and made a college football playoff appearance. The hell have you done? Stop. Just stop. I know there's psychotic fans in every fan base, but this is too much. You guys remind me of the Detroit Lions fan base way too much, and that's not a good thing. Stop it. You're entitled to nothing. But what you're entitled to now is going on the road and beating Indiana. Excuse me, it's at home. Go beat Indiana. Go beat Penn State. Go beat Maryland and then talk to me. Don't sit here and lose one of the next 3 games. Don't you dare. Because you got something. The defense is nice. I know it looked bad at the end, but it's nice. There's pieces. It's a great pass rush. The secondary leaky, obviously. The run defense, not the best, but hey, you got pieces. You want me to compliment Cade? I will. He played a hell of a ball game. If he continues on that way, you're going to look good. You're going to win 3-4 games, potentially. Don't sit here and cry because you lost to Michigan State and you can't accept it. They've dominated you for the last 14 years. If anything, State should have walked away from the game upset if they would have lost. Because they had dominated recently. But you both came in unranked to the season. Shut the hell up and be very thankful that in the first college football playoff ranking poll, or the show that came out yesterday night, you were ranked 7th, and you have a problem with it? You want Harbaugh fired? Michigan fans, you make me laugh. You really do. And if you want to go replace Jim Harbaugh, be my guest. And I wish you nothing but success. And absolutely, Harbaugh has failed in his time in Michigan because he hasn't delivered against the teams that, well, let's be honest, prior to him, you weren't beating them anyways. But you know what? State can beat Ohio State. Why is that? Purdue can. Wisconsin. Why are all these teams able to beat Ohio State? You can't. You go and beat Ohio State this year, the whole 7-year tenure of Jim Harbaugh is looked at in a different manner. He finally beat them. They win 11-1. They just lost to a better State team who went 12-0 or 11-1, and they lost on head-to-head. Guys, it's all ahead of you. Relax. You want to cry? Cry if you lose to Indiana. Cry if you lose to Penn State. Don't cry for losing to an undefeated Michigan State team that deserve all the praise in the world. I'm not for it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, the Jim Harbaugh thing is an interesting question because we talk about it all the time. It's if you fire Jim Harbaugh, good luck and wish you well. Who do you bring in after Jim Harbaugh? And looking at the situation, like they've given up 29 points to Nebraska. That is the highest point total they've given up all season until Michigan State. They gave up 37. So it's not the end of the world. Like you said, 20-point favorite against Indiana. They're going to beat Indiana. I think they'll beat Penn State, Maryland. The big game is Ohio State. That's where all these Michigan fans should be focused on. I mean, that's where the focus should be, to end the season 10-1, to possibly. I mean, well, who knows if you'll win a big game, if you'll win a bowl game, or we'll talk about that at a later time because Jim Harbaugh has a whole lot of issues with, especially winning those games. But more importantly, the focus should be right now. It's who you have next week because Michigan State. I don't even know if any of these teams can beat Ohio State. So what the game? Most Michigan fans, and I'm sure State fans feel the same way. The game that was last weekend was honestly the what do you call it? The end all, the know all of the season for both these fan bases. You saw what State fans are doing, flipping over cars, smashing in windshields. Michigan fans are pulling their hair out. Like, the season's not over, and Michigan can still go on and have a successful season.
Last I
quote
checked,
unquote.
there's 4 games on the schedule.
Right, and if they beat, let's theoretically they beat Ohio State.
Who?
Season's Michigan. Let's say they go beat Ohio State. It's a close game. They end with a win. Season's, I mean, it's not over. You beat Ohio State.
You gave yourself a chance.
Gave yourself a chance.
And you lost to a Michigan State team that was undefeated just like you.
And you were in the lead. You had 30-14. You were in the lead. You can at least take something from that game.
Guys, the SEC, Alabama's getting in with 1 loss. And if they go and they lose in the title game, they'll probably still get in. Cincinnati's not getting in. They can win all their games. Oklahoma's not getting in. They can win all their games. They're not impressive. They're just not. If Oregon keeps it up, or let's say Michigan or Ohio State finish with 1 loss, and it was to Michigan State, who go undefeated, let's say, you probably have 2 Big Ten teams representing in the college football playoff. That's the reality. That's the reality ahead of you. Chill out. And everyone can call Harbaugh a bum. You call him whatever you want. I don't care. But last I checked, he's doing exactly what you've had before, which isn't good enough, obviously. But you fans need to have a reality check. You're not a prestigious football program. You're just not.
Yeah.
You haven't been since '97. You threw away all the good years in the early 2000s, and you've been kind of rebuilding since. Harbaugh actually came here and gave you that notoriety, that respectability. He brought that here. He's failed to deliver on what he promised. Absolutely, I cannot argue that. But chill the hell out. Go beat Indiana. Go take care of Penn State, and go take care of Maryland. And then talk to me in 3 weeks, and you'll be 10-1 heading into Ann Arbor against Ohio State. That's a hell of a season.
Yep.
Well, coach is walking in day one and you're going to bring you that season. Or even in the next couple of years, beat Ohio State, beat Michigan State. I don't get that narrative. Like, you fire Jim Harbaugh, that's the first step.
I don't care.
That's the first step.
Bring in Fickell, bring in Jesus. I don't care who you bring in. The point is, you were never this prestigious program to begin with where you should be entitled to beat Michigan State. We should be beating. No, the hell you shouldn't. They've been kicking your ass since the mid-'90s.
Fickell ain't going to beat them.
State's been dominating you since you called them little brother. Stop. Stop. State's had Urban Meyer. Ohio State's had Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
State's had Mark D'Antonio. Stop. You're not you're not better. Just chill out. You want to win a Big Ten? Start there. Cool. You win out. You give yourself an opportunity to play in Indianapolis. Control what you can control, Michigan, and stop trying to get the coach fired mid-season.
All right, you guys, we have to hit our break. Coming up next, we are talking about the MVP frontrunner. I think you guys know who we're talking about. We will hit all of that after the break.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Welcome back, everyone. Our old friend Matthew Stafford has entered the top of the MVP conversation in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. He's 7-1 for the season. He currently has a 68.9 completion percentage, 9.1 yards per attempt, and a 118 passer rating, which are all career highs for Stafford at 33 years old. He's just behind Kyler Murray and Josh Allen on Fox Bet, sitting at plus 550. But on PointsBet, Stafford is the outright favorite at plus 450. You guys, your thoughts on Stafford and the MVP?
If I may. Yep. I brought this up, 3 weeks ago when I was talking about Stafford. It was leading up to the Rams game, I believe. And I said, guys, it's night and day. It's so obvious. It's not that the talent wasn't only there in Detroit. It's you never had the head coach. You never had the front office. Mm-hmm. It's just the reality. Look at him now. He leads the league in passer rating almost 9 weeks into the season. When the hell has he ever done that in Detroit? Win. 118 passer rating. He's thrown for 121 first downs. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The guy is playing out of his mind, almost 2,500 yards. Now, look, he is the MVP frontrunner. And why? He has a great narrative driving behind him. Guys, narrative is so important when you're winning an MVP. Look at Giannis. But let's even look in the NFL recently. Aaron Rodgers last year. Why was he the MVP frontrunner all year? Because in the offseason, they had the big whole Jordan Love thing. Oh my goodness, they drafted a quarterback. What's going on? Aaron Rodgers, is he falling off a cliff? Goes out and dominates the league. Now you look at Stafford. I mean, what are we now? 8 games in. He's averaging 9.1 yards a throw, career high. He's on pace for a career high in yards, career high in touchdowns, career high in the fewest amount of interceptions, career high in passer rating. Let me just put this into perspective so people understand. His highest passer rating ever in Detroit was when he only played half a season at 106. He played 8 games and then he got hurt the rest of the year. I believe it was year 2 under Patricia.
Yeah.
Regardless. Or it was year 1. Whatever. The point is, no, it was year 2 actually, but still. His career passer rating, Jeff and Kennedy, was 89.6 heading into Los Angeles. Right now, it's at 91.1. It's already taken 2-point jump. And he's sitting there at 118 as a passer rating. That is better than Brady, Rodgers. That is better than every quarterback in the league. The kid is playing out of his mind. He's got the head coach. He's got the weapons. He's got the offensive line. Last season, he was sacked 38 times. Which means he's on pace 8 games in. He should have had 19 sacks by now. He should have been sacked 19 times. He's only been sacked 7 times so far. Everything he has. In LA, he's never sniffed in Detroit. And that's the reality. He's the MVP frontrunner. It's not even I don't think there's a close MVP. Kyler kind of dropped himself off with that performance on Thursday night. Now he's hobbling. He's injured. The Rams don't look like they're slowing down.
No.
Van Jefferson is emerging as a good third option on that offense. Kupp is the offensive player of the year. He might break Calvin Johnson's records. He might break Randy Moss's records. That's unbelievable. Team's got everything going. Darrell Henderson's running the ball well. They've got a nice 1-2 punch in the backfield. He's got a head coach in Sean McVay that is just putting him in the best possible scenario to win. What's his completion percentage? I'm so curious. Anybody?
68%.
68. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Damn near
He's
70.
playing so well. He's playing so well.
Yeah, he's the MVP frontrunner. You explained it. You hit on every point I was going to hit on. Like the passer rating thing is important because he's number 1 in passer rating by 8 points. I think the second one's Kyler Murray, and he's had shaky performances like you just alluded to, and he might even be injured. So if I had to rank MVPs right now in order, it would have to really be Matthew Stafford, maybe Josh Allen second behind him, but it's still like the gap between them I think is significant because of the record, number 1, and number 2, importance to that offense. Like Matthew Stafford is a big reason. Like you talk about Cooper Kupp having the career year he's having, it's because of number 9. It's because of Matthew Stafford and what he's been able to do, and he absolutely deserves it. 4 interceptions, 22 touchdowns. The guy is balling out, and you could say, listen, he has 2 of the best defensive players at their positions, and they just acquired Von Miller.
Guys,
but performances.
Jeff, thank you. I'm so glad you said that. This offense isn't operating like this without Matthew Stafford.
No, it's not.
Go to Jared Goff's MVP-type season when they went 13-3, and he was lighting up the league, and he actually looked like a good quarterback. He threw for 32 touchdowns. Stafford is on pace to throw for 50. With fewer interceptions. Guys, it's not even close. I think if you have to rank MVP ballots, it's got to be Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen.
I put Kyler Murray third.
And I can't not put him there. Yeah. I can't put him.
But still,
I have to put Kyler at 3. But Cooper Kupp might break all the records. 23 touchdowns is the record. Will he get it? Look, he might break the yards record and the receiving touchdown record. He's on pace to break Calvin's receiving yards.
And he's got
Whether
10
or not
touchdowns.
he's going to break Moss's 23, that's a bit difficult. Because he's not a deep threat guy. He's kind of the 15-yard underneath out routes, deep dig routes. I mean, that's just who Cooper Kupp is. But in the red zone, he's a threat. So we'll see. But Matthew Stafford, MVP in my opinion, so far, if we're giving it away today.
You know, it's crazy. He got, in 2019, Cooper Kupp had 10 touchdowns for the year in 16 games with Jared Goff. He's got 10 through 8 with Matthew Stafford. It's absolutely ridiculous what he's able to do. When you get a guy like Matthew Stafford, it elevates everybody. Like Cooper Kupp very well might break the 20-touchdown point, and he's only 8 games in, so I don't see a reason why he can't, and that would be significant. I mean, the guy's made
Dude,
jump.
there's people in the chat that are just, I think they're just like either say things to like get me angry or they're actually just clueless. So, Guopes. So why was Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady able to win games with a coach in front office that they hated? Tom Brady didn't hate Bill Belichick. Let's get that out of the way, especially in the first 10, 12 seasons. It was never a hate relationship. It deteriorated over time, but every relationship deteriorates over time. It's just obvious. Aaron Rodgers did not hate Mike McCarthy. Loved him early on, hated him towards the end. He loves Matt LaFleur right now. What the hell are you talking about? Shut up. Just shut up. Just don't say dumb shit. Honestly. Just don't say dumb things in the chat. Do us a favor. It's unnecessary. The chat is there so you can express, of course, your opinion and give feedback and we can talk. But when you say dumb things like that, it just makes it impossible. It makes it impossible. Whatever, Stafford is only good because he's padding his stats, beating the hell out of teams. All right, so he beat the hell out of the Buccaneers, right? That doesn't count. He beat the hell out of the Giants, who held the Chiefs to less than 21 points. Yeah, he beat the hell out of a lot of bad teams. I know. Just because he beat on the Lions and the Houston Texans doesn't mean doesn't take away from what he's doing. But you know what, guys? Be my guest. You want to hate on Stafford? Be my guest. I'm rooting not just for him. I'm rooting for the city of Detroit. I want this guy to win, so all you people can wake the hell up on a Friday, or excuse me, a Monday morning, post Super Bowl, and you're like, we had 12 years to figure it out and we couldn't. They figured it out in 1 year. They went and got Von Miller. They actually have a head coach. They actually have a great head coach. A guy that actually knows how to call plays. Not a head coach like Jim Caldwell who just loves to blame Matthew Stafford all the time. No, he actually has a head coach. He has a front office that makes moves, understands how to manipulate the salary cap. An organization that's stable. Never had that in Detroit. So you guys can laugh all you want and hate all you want. That's fine. Be my guest. Be my guest.
All right. And on that note, we have to hit the break and hear about our new friends over at Foaling Warehouse.
All right, guys. Foaling Warehouse. I can't wait because we're taking everybody at Woodward Sports there pretty soon.
Woo!
I'm actually really excited about that. But Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, it's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling, of course. Now, guys, you can host a corporate party like we'll be doing pretty soon, team building event. I guess you can equate that to what we're doing as well. Or you can just come in with family and friends, even on a nice date. You can play. There's many ways to play, but two of the main ones, $10 unlimited open play. Stay the whole time. We're open all day. Or a private lane reservation, which is probably what we're going to do for $120 up to 10 people for 2 hours. Have over 100 beers in stock, our $2 Mystic beer machine, and of course, we have multiple bars open. You bring in the food or have it delivered. Be our guest. Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Come and get your foal on. Check it out at foalingwarehouse.com.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuned into the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Thanks for taking time out of your busy Wednesday to come hang out with us. But you guys, they're here. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee released their first rankings of the year. I was personally a little bit shocked by them. No surprise here. Georgia was sitting at number 1, but everything else after that, I was kind of like, oh, okay, wow, here we go. We have one-loss Bama at number 2, undefeated Michigan State at 3, the team that beat the Ohio State Oregon at number 4, Buckeyes at 5, undefeated Cincy at 6, and then one-loss Michigan, Oklahoma, undefeated Wake Forest, and one-loss Notre Dame at 10. Go Irish.
You can take this one.
Look, let's be honest. Somebody has to say it in this room. because, I think people are scared of honesty.
Okay.
And the truth is, Cincinnati shouldn't be in the top 10.
Oh, jeez.
They shouldn't. I'm sorry.
They would lose to Wake Forest.
I'm sorry. Cincinnati shouldn't be ranked higher than Michigan, Oklahoma, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. Actually, they should be ranked higher than Notre Dame. Notre Dame shouldn't even be in the top 10. They should be like 20. Notre Dame should be 25th on this list. Anyways, they wouldn't beat Kentucky. They wouldn't beat Baylor. BYU is too high in my opinion. That is actually awful. Kentucky should be higher than BYU. I think they got that totally wrong. There's so many things on here I would disagree with, but Cincinnati for me is a glaring issue. Yeah. I'm glad they don't have them in the top 4, but they don't deserve to be 6. Sorry. Ritter, Fickell, I'm sorry, but I don't care. There are 40 teams, including Texas Christian and North Carolina, that have a more difficult strength of schedule than you. The hell you mean you're the number 6 team in the country? Why? Because you beat Notre Dame? Congratulations, you beat Notre Dame. That's a meal ticket to the college football playoff? Excuse me? No, unacceptable. Why does Michigan State have to play Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and Cincinnati needs to play Notre Dame? That's it. Cincinnati could barely beat Tulane. You kidding me? No, they shouldn't be in the top 10. They shouldn't be in the top 15. I would take Michigan over Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Wake Forest, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Auburn, Texas A&M, Mississippi, Mississippi State, and Kentucky. I would take all those teams over Cincinnati. And that's just the truth. So for everyone crying that Cincinnati isn't in the top 4, they're 8-0, they deserve it. Shut the hell up. They don't deserve it. They've played nobody. They played the same Notre Dame team that lost to Florida State, that lost to Jacksonville State. Are you guys serious? No.
Enough with the Notre Dame slander.
No, it's not Notre Dame slander. It's Notre Dame propaganda. I'm so tired of it. They are not a top 10 team. Kentucky would beat the brakes off of them. Baylor would beat the brakes off of them. It would be close between them and Oklahoma State. A&M would smash Notre Dame. Mississippi State would smash Notre Dame. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. Get away from me.
I have a problem with the Cincinnati. All right, listen, they're undefeated, so they deserve to be in that realm.
No, they don't.
No, listen. I mean, it is. Because look at if you look from 11 to 25, they all have 2 to 3 losses at least. So I get the undefeated thing, but they should not be above Michigan. They should not be above Oklahoma, Wake Forest. I think they should be above Notre Dame, but that's it. Like, other than that, Cincinnati, they almost just lost to Navy with a quarterback who they don't even throw the ball. They threw it 15 times. They still almost beat Cincinnati. Ritter had an interception. Like, they look vulnerable, and to be in this top 6 means you're a serious contender. And Michigan, I believe, is still legit, and they're behind Cincinnati. If they played, Michigan would absolutely obliterate this team. Same with Oklahoma with Caleb Williams, I believe. They'd absolutely obliterate them, no matter how bad Oklahoma's defense is. And Wake Forest, that's a toss-up. I got Wake Forest. So at the end of the day, I don't get the rankings. You take them with a grain of salt. The playoff, though, I mean, Michigan State being 3.
Look, you know what? Maybe I'm underselling Cincinnati, so please follow my sarcasm if you can. They've played Miami, Ohio, Murray State. Last I checked, that's a basketball school. Indiana, Notre Dame, congratulations. Temple, UCF, Navy, barely beat them. Tulane, barely beat them. Now wait, it gets better. I feel so bad for Cincinnati. Their schedule gets so difficult from here on out. Home to Tulsa, away to South Florida, home to SMU, and away to East Carolina.
The Pirates!
Yeah, no. They shouldn't be in the top. They shouldn't be there. Look, I'm all for giving, these teams opportunities, the Boise States, but this is ridiculous. You want an opportunity, go schedule a Big Ten and an SEC team every single year.
Yeah.
And if you go 1-1 and then undefeated the rest of the way, I somewhat have respect for you.
It's a cakewalk schedule.
But just because you beat some independent Notre Dame team that, let's be honest, is overrated as hell, that doesn't mean you get to go in the college football playoff. I don't care if you're undefeated. No, committee got it right. They got it right because they put Georgia 1, no questions about that.
Yep.
And they put Bama 2, which is the reality. State at 3, good decision. Oregon 4 over Ohio State.
It's because of the win. I mean, it's
because of the head-to-head win. I'm okay with that. I really am. And I think Ohio State probably wins out. I think they beat Michigan State. I think they beat Michigan. Ohio State's proven it. So until somebody proves them wrong, it's hard for me not to back them. But regardless, Cincinnati shouldn't be. They should maybe be 10th or 11th on this
The
list.
moment they lose a game, Adam, they should drop.
They
all the
should
way
drop out of the country. They should never be a football program anymore.
The only thing they're holding on to is undefeated, and it's a cakewalk schedule.
What was that one school that one year that went undefeated? Like, we're the champions.
Central Florida, baby,
So everybody
2017
in
national
Central Florida,
champion.
I hope you get taken over by a tsunami. Honestly. You
Alabama
idiots
who?
actually put a billboard up that you were the national champion.
Because they were. Alabama
You
who?
idiots.
Who?
No.
Sounds like Cincinnati fans.
How about you schedule actual programs? Go schedule, honestly, preseason. Go schedule a Baylor and a Kentucky, and I'd have more respect for you. And I would sit up here and I would say, you know what? I would have Cincinnati at 4. They've proven they've beaten 2 teams in the top 15, top 20. I'll take that. Don't give me Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not the 10th best team in the country right now. They let you down every year, committee. What are you doing? Every time you put Notre Dame in to the college football playoff, they get their asses handed to them. What's the point? What's the point? Because it's Notre Dame? Because they're on NBC and they got the Peacock deal? What is it? I don't know.
Can I tell you a Luke Fickell quote after he found out where Cincinnati was ranked? You know what he said? He said, he was on his radio show, and he said, "Who is the committee chairman? Did he play football?" That's what he said. He was actually concerned about where his team was ranked. And the
he should be. How about you schedule actual opponents, buddy? You're Cinca freaking Natty. You don't have this history of being a football program. You don't get to rest on your laurels. All right? Say me the BS.
Yeah.
You need to prove it. Beating Notre Dame ain't shit. Sorry, Fish. But that's just the reality.
And then questioning the committee if they play
I'm
football.
not. The committee got it totally right outside of Cincinnati and Notre Dame. I think they're too high.
I
just do.
This is what the committee said back to Fickell. He said Cincinnati's a great team. Desmond Ritter's a terrific leader in leading that team. The comment I'm talking about is the overall strength of schedule compared to some of the other teams we are evaluating.
Dude, their strength of schedule is 43rd in the nation.
That's horrible.
Texas Christian and North Carolina have a more difficult strength of schedule. Are you guys serious?
That's absurd.
Yeah, just shut up. Shut up, Cincinnati, and shut the hell up, Luke Fickell. You've done a good job, buddy. You've done a real good job with the team. It ain't a top 10 team in the country.
No. He thinks they're higher, apparently, than where they are now. They're 6. So I don't know what team he wants them ranked over, but
who would you put them over? Bama? Hell no. Georgia? Hell no. You'd lose by 50 to Georgia. You'd lose by 40 to Bama. You'd lose by 20 to State. You'd
Even
lose
Oregon.
by 15 to Oregon.
Yeah.
You'd lose by 40 to Ohio State. You'd lose by 12, 14 probably to Michigan.
if not more, yeah. And then
Shut
then
up.
Oklahoma, I mean, I would take Oklahoma in that. So that puts them all the way down at the 9-10.
Luke Fickell's an ass clown is what he is. If you have a problem, and he knew damn well going into the year, because they were good last year.
Yeah.
They had one loss, correct?
Yep.
And that killed them at the end. So you knew going into this year, you needed to schedule teams. You know who you scheduled? Notre Dame and SMU. What do you want me to suck you off for that?
Big teams, go Irish!
Those are the worst
Fish
teams you
just
could have scheduled.
bandwagons
Go
with me, I love
schedule
it.
a mid-tier SEC team like a Texas A&M or a Kentucky, and go schedule, I don't know, a Michigan State, a Penn State, an Iowa. Go schedule one of those teams and go beat them early on, and I'll give you all the credit and I'll tell you deserve to be in there. But North Carolina and Texas Christian have a higher strength of schedule than you. Shut up.
Hey, and they lost to Notre Dame.
And to have that game versus Navy and to
the
say
Notre
that,
Dame team that you beat is the same Notre Dame team that lost to Jacksonville State. Shut up. Shut the hell up, Luke Fickell. Honestly, just shut up. You have no right. You have the control. You make the schedule every year. You have that control. How about you schedule some teams and you actually earn yourself a spot in the college football playoff? Instead of coasting past Navy, congratulations, you beat the Academy.
By 7.
You deserve to be in the college football playoff. Luke Fickell, I apologize. Shut the hell up. Shut up.
Adam, I want you to address Jack Harrington's comment. He says, how is Oklahoma behind Michigan? I'm kind of with him. Honestly, I think Oklahoma's pretenders.
Oklahoma have been fake all season.
Yep.
Guys, they benched Spencer Rattler. They transitioned to Caleb Williams. They barely beat Texas. They barely beat Kansas. They haven't shown that there's some great team. And let's be honest, history matters. And History tells you Oklahoma wins the Big 12 easily, and they take a shit in the college football playoff.
Adam, stop.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's just a really bad day. It's the truth.
Fish is going to have a heart attack.
So until Oklahoma goes out and beats the break off of teams, it ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna matter at all.
Yeah, the reputation's there. I mean,
they have a history of losing in the big games. What has Oklahoma done? They've barely beaten every team they've played all year. They deserve to be over Michigan, Ohio. No. Now you want to argue with Michigan? Maybe. I don't care. But Oklahoma hasn't proven anything. They haven't. Just shut up. Just shut up, all of you. Don't know a damn thing. It's unbelievable. Cincinnati should be higher. Oklahoma should be higher. Hell, let's put Notre Dame in the college football playoff. For that,
Let's do it again.
Go Irish!
Unbelievable. Got to go to break.
We do have to go to break. All right, coming up next, we're going to do our Right Now College Voting Awards, so stick around for that. But first, we need to hear about where Jeff, he's wearing a freaking hat, but where do you get your hair done, Jeff?
All right, listen, fellas, ladies, whoever's watching this, you're probably sitting at home. I know you need a haircut, all right? So you come up to Lady Jane's. They're open 7 days a week, 10 to 8. They have the most comfiest chairs. I'm looking at them right now. You sit in the chair. You get to watch television. Your favorite sports teams on Sports Center. And when you walk out, you're handsome and clean. The ladies will take care of you. You get facials. You can get everything over here. And the availability is all the time, 7 days a week. So you can walk in anytime, walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're looking fresh. Lady Jane's, walk in because it is wicked awesome.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We are the Morning Woodward Show. All right, you guys, our Right Now College Voting Awards. Let's start with the Heisman. Who are you giving it to? Is it K9?
It's not even a debate. There's nobody in college football with one Heisman moment outside of Kenneth Walker. And may I remind you, Kenneth Walker has 4. The impossible run against Michigan where all was lost. The whole line was in front of him. He takes it to the house. And then, of course, you have to include the 5-touchdown performance. And then the first carry of the season against Northwestern on the road. And then he's been dominating all year. He's had 4 Heisman moments all year. Bryce Young hasn't had one. Matt Corral hasn't had one. Nobody's had a Heisman moment in the country outside of Kenneth Walker. It's his award. And there's nobody that can convince me otherwise. I don't care if State lose the next 4. There's only one Heisman winner this year, and that's Kenneth freaking Walker.
Yeah, multiple games with multiple touchdowns. I mean, he scores every single point in the Michigan game. Give him the Heisman Trophy. If it ended right now, I don't see anybody, even Bryce Young, we talk about him being the favorite. I can't name even one Heisman moment. And the guy's having a terrific season, but just because you have 5 touchdowns in a game doesn't mean you're the Heisman. It means, like Kenneth Walker, you show up in those big games, score every single touchdown against an undefeated Michigan team. I mean, you deserve credit. And as bad as Peyton Thorne played that game, yeah, he had some terrific throws. It boosts Kenneth Walker up the award even more. I mean, he's above Matt Corral. He's above Bryce Young. So right now it's Kenneth Walker the third, and I don't see. I mean, maybe Bryce Young second, but he's a pretty far second. So it's Kenneth Walker the third for the Heisman.
The third. All right, you guys, moving on. The Home Depot Award, a.k.a. Coach of the Year. Mine's Mel Tucker. Who do you guys got?
Mel freaking Tucker.
Mel
and
freaking
it's not even,
Tucker.
Oh, wait, excuse me, guys. I might get canceled if I don't say this. Luke Fickell. Shut the hell up.
Mel
Tucker,
funny, I was going to
Coach of
say
the Year,
Luke
and it's
Fickell.
not even close.
Well, listen, Luke Fickell, he's up in that conversation, but in terms of impact and the biggest wins, it's Mel Tucker. Like, you beat, to start the season, you beat Northwestern, and ever since then, undefeated. You've beaten a lot of teams that have been, it could go either way, especially the Michigan game. I mean, Adam said up here, predicted Michigan. It was, a lot of people said Michigan, a lot of people said State. And Mel Tucker showed up, and he's done the most with what he has. Like, even before the season, everyone talks about their expectations for State. Nobody said undefeated through 8 games. Nobody. So that's deserving. That's deserving of the award. So Mel Tucker.
Yeah, Mel Tucker deserves that. I think if you want to give an honest second place, a guy that may win it, you probably got to go with Kirby Smart. I think you have to acknowledge what he's doing out in Georgia. He's got
what
the best.
about the Kentucky coach?
I would consider Wake Forest as I would consider the Wake Forest coach over Kentucky before that.
Okay.
I think Kentucky have a good team actually. So I mean, there's a lot of deserving coaches, a lot of people that deserve credit, but right now it's got to be Mel Tucker.
Yeah,
and I think Kirby Smart is a close second.
Yeah, for how they're doing this year.
You guys, the people in our chat are very smart. Adam, tell me if you'd be down with this. They say we need a swear jar, and then we can donate the money to charity. Charity of your choice.
Okay,
I have one
problem with this, but I have a big problem with this. Because now you're encouraging me to swear.
Oh, you would swear more for
Of
charity?
course. Yeah.
He's a betting man. Yeah,
I would swear like every 13th word that came out of my mouth.
plan.
I think we should. Give it, and we can
All
do
right.
DDR.
I'm okay.
Because we
I'm down.
haven't hung out with them in a while.
All right, I'm okay with
Justin,
that.
get
Let's
ready.
start that
Okay,
Monday.
bring in a jar tomorrow.
Oh, okay. We'll start
Justin,
tomorrow.
get ready. Your fingers are
They
going to
say
need to have work.
$100 for an F word, though.
What? Are you serious? Come on.
You've only let one slip in a while.
Those
Well,
$100,
that's very true.
Those F-bomb $100, it goes right into this pocket.
The Jeff charity.
Pocket, you know what I mean?
Shut up,
The
Jeff.
Jeff charity. But let's talk about the O'Brien Award, Davey O'Brien. What do we? What do
I
you
think
do?
it's clear as day. I
Yeah.
think you gotta. It's a good debate, but I think it's Malik Willis. I think it is. I think he's the most dynamic quarterback in college football right now. Were you thinking Desmond Ridder or were you thinking
No, I
Matt
was going-
Corral? Or neither? Bryce Young?
Yeah.
No.
He's top 4 in touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
No, I mean, I'm going dynamic. Good. Okay, well, hear me out. Alabama quarterbacks always produce. That's never an issue.
Well, Mac Jones won it
hasn't-
last year. So, I mean,
Bryce Young hasn't done anything special yet this year. I'm giving a quarterback award to, I think, the most dynamic quarterback in college. He's at Liberty right now.
Liberty.
I know, but still, I mean,
Okay,
we got
I
to be
get
fair
you.
here. It's not
I
a
got
school award; it's a player award.
Yeah, but I think difficulty of games does play a
I
factor.
agree.
I mean,
I'm going to agree with you on that, but
he's got more touchdowns.
this is an
less
individual
interce-
player award.
Yeah, right. And I
Malik
think Bryce
Willis-
Young's a better individual player this year. But I don't know. You're right. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson. I mean, you're a fan
Lamar
of this
Jackson
man.
won the award, didn't he?
He probably
and
did.
he won the Heisman.
He probably did. And you know what? Listen, Malik Willis this year, 9 touchdowns on the ground. He's got 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
What does Bryce Young have? 24 touchdowns?
No, 26 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he has 2 touchdowns on the ground. So a couple short.
I mean, they're
touchdowns
pretty
on the ground.
close, but
I just think
look,
as a
I'm just trying to show love to a guy. I think honestly
There
he's
you
having
go.
a really good year.
Yeah, I get it. I
and
feel
I
it.
don't think that should go unnoticed. Desmond Ritter's having an okay year, but I would take if I had to give you an order, like let's say a top 3.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd go Malik Willis, I'd go Matt Corral, and then Bryce Young.
All right.
Fair?
I mean, I don't know.
Isn't Ole Miss playing a really good team this week? It's a good matchup. Who is it?
And Matt Corral, by the way, let's look at this man.
Dude,
15
Ole Miss
and 2.
this week are playing Malik Willis and Liberty.
Listen, man.
So let's do this next week after Malik Willis has played an actual team.
Okay.
Okay.
Because they're playing an SEC team in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, Liberty had the balls to schedule an SEC
Kahunas.
team. Luke
Kahunas.
Fickell, you're doing a great job, bud. Dumbass.
Are we just sleeping on Sam Howell now? Everyone was hyped
Sam
on him.
Howell,
at
who the
beginning.
hell is he?
He's
He
so
came into the
cute.
preseason a number 1 draft pick prospect. Man, I don't want to talk about Sam Howell. Get him away from me.
Yeah, Sam Howell, I don't.
Liberty versus Ole
He
Miss
doesn't
this
have the
week.
pieces around him.
Liberty versus Ole Miss this week is the game to watch. Luke Fickell, you should watch too. Maybe you'd muster up the balls to actually schedule a team on your schedule.
All right.
Next.
Let's move to the Chuck Benderick Award, Defensive Player
yeah,
of
this is
the
easy.
Year.
You should. I mean, unless you're going like Aiden Hutchinson. Are you switching it up on me? It's Kevon Thibodeau, right? Don't go Aiden Hutchinson on me right now. I swear to God, I'm the quote.
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton. Who are you going? It's Kevon.
I keep my mouth shut
Listen,
right now.
Thibodeau's missed a game, but if you're not going Thibodeau, I don't know who you're going. I mean, the best defensive players in this draft, Kyle Hamilton, he was out. You have Derek Stingley, who's been underperforming this year. I think it's Kevon Thibodeau. I mean, maybe Aiden Hutchinson you make an argument for, but, I mean, you talk about the sacks. Aiden Hutchinson has, 5, 6 sacks. Kevon has 4. He's had more forced fumbles. He's made more of an impact on the field, in my opinion, in one less game. So I don't know. You give it to Kevon Thibodeau, the most dominant defensive player, I think, in football right now. But it is. You get whatever you want to say, Adam. I mean, who you got in mind?
Okay, look. I'm going to be honest with you.
If you have...
I had Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Kyle Hamilton.
I was going to say, I would literally cry tears of joy.
I would never. He's not even in my top 5.
Oh, my God.
Just because of you.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Look, Stingley Jr. out in LSU, I think is having a damn good season.
Doesn't even have an interception.
But, look, I mean, you can point out stats all you want. But the guy is an impact player. Hear me out. Look, you want to talk only about interceptions. No, the kid can ball.
But that's a big part.
But hear me out.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you who my defensive player of the year is.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you my 5 because you're going to be shocked. Because Hutchinson and someone else are in my top 5.
Hutchinson should be in your top 5. I'm not going to say he shouldn't be in there.
Number 1, it's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay.
I don't think that's an argument. Number 2, I'm going to go with Stingley. I think he's having a hell of a year.
Okay.
And I think it's a hell of a year just based on, just when you watch a guy on the screen as he's jumping out. And he does. And there's 2 players from Michigan that jump out on my screen. One Ojabo, the other Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And I think those are deserving to both of them to be in the top 5. And then whoever else you want, I could care less. But no, I think it's Thibodeau's award. I don't know how you give it to anyone else.
Yeah.
I want to disagree, but I can't. I really can't. It's his award.
Yeah, no, it's hard. I like the Hutchinson and Ojabo kind of love you're giving because those guys, that pass rush is the best pass rush combination in college football.
In college football.
It's the best.
And they jump off your screen and Ojabo's athleticism translates on Sundays. It just does.
Yeah, he's a defensive end playing linebacker.
And he's not even polished yet.
No.
So I like him. All right, moving on. We've got the Paul Hornung Award, the most versatile player in college football. I think there's only one player that wins this award, Jeff. Are you going to disagree? You got to tell me.
Say it.
No, you got to say it.
No, you say it, and I'll say if I disagree. I went first last time.
Well, I think it's Jaden Reed.
I mean, yeah, but you got a guy who can return. He can catch him.
So we're agreeing?
Yeah, I mean,
thank God. I was nervous on this one.
To be honest, there was a couple guys I had in mind. Like there's the guy at Houston, I believe he's a cornerback. He already has a couple return touchdowns this year. But Jaden Reed, they're undefeated. They're playing good football, and he's a big part of that. No Naylor last game. He comes in, has the big 4th and 4 catch. I mean, he's done a whole lot for Michigan State, man. And even without Naylor, that's the impact he has. Like he steps up to the plate, and I can't hate on you. I agree with you actually. Have him in that conversation because he is dynamic.
Jaden Reed, for my money, is the most versatile player right now in college football.
Yeah,
I don't
you can use him in a multitude of ways. Sweeps,
100%,
punt return, 100%. Kick return.
I do. There's one aspect of this I want to give an award to. It's not an award that's given out in college football, but I think it's an award I think that needs to be given out going forward because society is so damn soft, and you're all a bunch of cupcakes. So I want to name this award after a very special person. His name is Luke Fickell. This is going to be the Luke Fickell Award. And in the inaugural year I'm giving out this award, of course, it's going to be given to no one else other than Luke Fickell. So congratulations, Luke. This award embodies a person, someone's character that is nothing but, let's say, what words can I use here to describe this person? Naive, scared, ignorant, and unwilling to challenge his football team. That award I will be giving out every year as long as I'm alive and doing a show. The inaugural year, it goes to Luke Fickell himself. Next year, who knows? Might go to Brian Kelly.
I knew you were going to say that. Brian Kelly. Okay, I want to get something. I need your guys' help. Not to make things about me, but I love making things about me. Lil D Energy, a.k.a. Alex Mayer, just proposed a trade to me.
In our fantasy football league?
And I need you to tell me if I should do it.
Listen, before you tell me that trade.
Okay.
Alex Mayer
is
one of the worst human beings I've ever met.
Whoa.
In terms of hear me out. In terms of trading in fantasy football.
Yeah, he denies other people's stuff.
This guy sent me a trade offer yesterday for Tyreek Hill. I have Tyreek Hill.
This cow.
He offers me Justin Jefferson and Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs is out of the league. Keep in mind,
he just got cut today.
Jackass.
Can we just say this though? Real quick? Me and Adam, we versed this week in fantasy.
We do.
It is the official day we're matched
I'm 7-1. You're 6-2 or 7-1.
6-2. Let's go, Jeff.
It's
time to turn up.
It's gonna be a battle, Adam. It's gonna be a battle. And actually, I think I have one loss. It's too easy, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you have 2. I think.
You're
6-2.
Yeah. 6-2. I looked because I was hoping you guys would have the same record when you played.
It's gonna be a battle. This ain't no State versus Michigan, but you know what? It's pretty damn close. You know what? And
guys, everybody in the chat, You move on from Harbaugh if he doesn't beat Ohio State this year. It's that simple. If he doesn't beat Ohio State and he doesn't beat Penn State, you move on. If he wins both those games, you shut the hell up. 100%. You shut the hell up because he's brought in 15 assistants on his coaching staff under the age of 45. It's worked. They've turned it around. Mm-hmm. They lost to a damn good football team. Get over yourselves. Moving on.
Okay,
Kennedy, what's the trade offer?
Okay, so he wants Chase Edmonds from me, who absolutely balled out this week for me. Thank you, Chase. For Mooney, Edwards, Hilar, and
Edwards-Hilaire's on injured reserve. Alex Mayer. Oh my goodness!
We almost got $100.
Alex Mayer's the biggest piece of you know what. Honestly,
so
why Darnell
trade.
Mooney? Darnell Mooney.
Decline
Congratulations, trade. Alex. You're really pulling strings out here, buddy.
And I play him this week, and he wants me to give him.
Of course, he wants to be. He knows he can't beat you, so he's got to take your player and give you all the players on injured reserve.
So you're saying decline this trade immediately?
Decline it and send him a message. F you, basically. Tell him it's the worst trade I've ever heard of in my life.
Okay. Screw you, Alex Mayer. It's a no from me, dog. All right.
We got to go to break.
We do have to go to break. But first, our friends at Gypsy Vodka.
All right, guys, I'm going to need a drink after the show because Luke Fickell's giving me a migraine. Guys, Gypsy Vodka is where it's at. They sponsored our Michigan State game that we broadcasted at the Hopcat. It was a great time. Both owners of Gypsy Vodka are Michigan State alumni, twin brothers Adam and Mike. We appreciate them for being a part of the network. Try a bottle today, and of course, please drink responsibly. It's Gypsy Vodka. You can't miss it in the store, guys. Look at the bottle design. It's very unique. I don't think you can miss it walking by on a shelf. Pick it up. It's a good tasting vodka. Whether you like it, mix it up with some cranberry, or you like it straight like I do, enjoy it. Gypsy Vodka. Give it a try, and of course, drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All right, everyone, buckle in because I know Adam's going to get pretty heated about this topic. Decker is back. Though most of us were waiting on trade moves before the trade deadlines, the Lions made some other moves. They took both left tackle Taylor Decker and defensive end Kevin Strong off of IR. Now, 8 weeks after the season, we finally get to see what the Lions are going to do with Decker, which leaves us what's happening with Penei Sewell. Jeff, your thoughts before we have to get to a cranky Adam.
Well, let me just say this. I'll try to calm Adam down before we get to him because it is frustrating when you draft a left tackle and he kind of plays left tackle by coincidence because of Taylor Decker being injured. He was supposed to play the right tackle, and it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I mean, that's just where we wanted to see him. You want to see Penei Sewell playing his natural position because the guy hasn't played in 2 years. He missed his whole junior year of college because of the COVID. He opted out. So he's trying to get his legs back under him and at a position he's not familiar with. Now, obviously, he's playing left tackle for most of the season. And I just don't see how it makes sense. Taylor Decker comes back let's say, next week or the next week after that. You're bringing him in, and you're going to move Penei Sewell to right tackle. It's not logical, and it's not good for Penei Sewell's career because the guy's already trying to get used to playing left tackle in the National Football League. And I think over the last couple weeks, he's been doing a pretty good job at it, regardless of how many sacks the offensive line's given up. I think Penei's held it down, and now you're going to move him to right tackle for the next 8-9 games. It's stupidity. So you know what? If Taylor Decker comes back, the Lions are in a pickle. And the more important thing is maybe push kind of Taylor Decker. Just keep him healthy. Keep him healthy. Keep him out of the lineup. The Lions are winless anyway. So keep him away from the team, or at least just keep him away from the field because Penei Sewell, it's best for his career if he plays the entire season at left tackle. You already have Matt Nelson starting at right tackle. You have Evan starting the backup, Evan Brown starting at center. It's a broken offensive line. Bringing in Decker at left tackle and switching Penei to right isn't going to solve all your issues. So you're better off just letting Penei get the reps at the left side and maybe just keeping Taylor away, letting him nurture his injury and get him healthy, 100% healthy for the offseason before you can possibly trade him. So That should be the ideology of Brad Holmes. Keep him healthy and don't rush him out of the field, because if you rush him out of the field, okay, move Panay to the right side, and it's going to be a you-know-what show. I won't say it, obviously, but you know what? It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. So, like I said, keep Taylor Decker. Don't rush him back. Let him get healthy, 100% healthy. Even if it means missing the entirety of the season, that's fine with me. The Lions aren't – I mean, they're not going to win anything anyway this year. Forcing Taylor Decker to play unnecessary snaps isn't going to benefit the team and help them. It might help them win games, but that's not what you want. You want them to have the number 1 overall pick if possible. So, in my opinion, let Panay play the left side for the entirety of the season and just keep Taylor Decker as far as away from the team as you can until the offseason.
You guys, I just have to read this really fast. So I sent a nasty message to Mayor, and he said, you didn't have to call me out in front of the whole network, because I put it in our work group chat. And I said, oh, I did more than that. We talked about it on the show. He said, oh, wonderful. Mayor's mad.
Yeah, he should be. Don't send stupid trades. Don't be that guy. Guys. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say.
Alex Mayer, get rocked.
Mayer, get better. You're better than this. You have a good record in the league. You're better than this. Don't be sending BS trade offers, especially to somebody I work with. I'm not gonna allow it. Anyways, Penei Sewell. I mean, we've been talking about this for so long. It's kind of frustrating at this point. I think they're trading Decker in the offseason. The cap hit after June 1st is minimal, so they can move off of him. Look, if you wanted Penei to develop, let's say at right tackle, then when Taylor Decker got hurt, you should have kept him there and dealt with it. But you were naive enough to actually think you were going to be a good football team. Let's start there. But then you move him back to left tackle. Good, thank God. It took an injury for you to realize that he should be playing there. And he started off real good, and then he went through slump, and now he's back to playing really good. Kid's fine. The kid will be fine. Keep him at left tackle. That's his ideal position. You drafted him to play left tackle, not to play right tackle. You didn't take him number 7 overall to play right tackle. That's just the truth. So you keep the kid at left tackle. Everything will be so much easier for you down the line. Stop thinking about now. Taylor Decker will not be here when the team is good. 2.5 years from now, Taylor Decker likely will not be here. And you're going to need Penei Sewell to be a top 5 left tackle by then. And that's the expectation. That's the reality of why you took him where you took him. So stop beating around the bush. Keep Decker either on the sidelines or move him to right tackle. If you move him to right tackle, that's an upgrade. You're going to look better. The team will get better. You'll be able to run better, better pass protection. A lot of things will get better for you. But that doesn't change the outcome of your team. Enough of this. Enough. Taylor Decker on injured reserve was a blessing in disguise. Accept it. Keep Penei at left tackle. The kid has been blossoming before your very eyes, and you're still stubborn, stupid, and naive enough to want to move him back to right tackle. Well, he's 20 years old. He's not his natural position. Duh. Lions fans are unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Jeff, the conversation you're having in the chat, I think you should do on
What's
air.
going on?
You little keyboard warrior.
No, listen, because I was letting Adam get his talking out. This is what I don't understand. People say this. It's not his natural position. He's played right tackle in college. I don't give a damn what he played. He probably played a handful of games at right tackle.
Hear him out. Hold on. He countered.
No.
He's agreeing with you.
No, not Doug. I'm not talking about Doug.
Oh.
I'm talking about Chuck. Chuck said, not saying he needs to move from left tackle, but he played both left tackle and right tackle in college. The point still stands, Chuck, and Doug, for that matter. Listen, Penei Sewell, he played left tackle in college. He's a left tackle. He might have played right tackle for a short period of time, but he's a projected all-time left tackle. That's his ceiling. No one has ever said before the draft. I mean, I've watched all the pre-draft shows with all the analysts. No one's sitting here saying, well, you can move him to right tackle and he's going to be just as good. No, his ceiling's at the left side. So I don't care. Taylor Decker is a top 10 left tackle. I acknowledge that. He's a very good left tackle. Very good. But that you have 2 good left tackles. That's what you have. You have 2 good left tackles. You don't have a top 10 left tackle and a guy who can be a top 3 right tackle in Penei Sewell.
Guys,
he's a project.
Jeff,
he's a project.
You guys are missing one very big part of this. You want to talk about Taylor Decker's body of work? It's been proven. You don't need to put him back at left tackle for teams to have interest in him at left tackle. Stop this. Stop. The kid, not the kid, Penei's the kid. Taylor Decker has proven his body of work. That's it. His value is what it is. Stop the nonsense. Keep Penei Sewell at right tackle. That's it. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about this. I really don't. The guy, we're done with this Penei Sewell should or shouldn't. That's it. The team is awful. The team is bad. They're not getting any better. And it's that simple. Whether Decker's in or whether he's not, I could care less. I really could. Keep the kid at left. Let him continue to grow. He's been looking good. Jeff Okudah not going to be a top 5 corner, Nathan. Come on, buddy. Let's not do this, all right? I've been so nice today about the Detroit Lions. Don't do this. We don't need to go down this road, all right? Your best case scenario for Jeff Okudah is that he turns out to be a number 2 corner. Serviceable. But he ain't a number 1. And if he ever does turn out to be a number 1, that doesn't guarantee anything. Because you took him number 3 overall. So in theory, he's already a bust. Now it's just how much can he salvage out of Jeff Okudah. And I hope he can, because he's a good kid. So we'll see what happens from there. But I do want to move on, Jeff, a little bit. I want to revisit Jim Harbaugh a little bit, because this is like a really hot topic in the chat. Michigan lost to Michigan State, another rivalry game that they blew. Very damning on Jim Harbaugh, I will agree. But this wasn't just Michigan State, oh, they're like 3-4 right now, or 4-3 heading into the game. That was an undefeated state team with a Heisman running back, a Coach of the Year candidate, and a damn good offense. Very dynamic and a pretty solid defense. It's a good football team. Now, in the big picture, it's unacceptable, yes. But if you just look at that one game, that's not enough. That's not enough. Now, if he loses to Penn State, I think you fire him that day. Jim Harbaugh, you lose to Penn State, you lose your job instantly. You cannot lose one of these next 3 games.
No, you can't.
You got to go into Ohio State and win that football game. And if you do, you finish 11-1, and you can throw up middle fingers to everybody who's been talking shit about you. It's that simple. Okay?
Swear jar.
Swear jar.
You guys, I just pulled some footage, and Westy has it for us. But I want to talk about someone else.
What's the footage?
Jared Goff.
Oh, God.
Let's just break this down really fast.
It's Wednesday. Like, we're almost past
Swift
hump day.
In this one,
I got to talk about Jared Goff. Why? He sucks.
Because you know what?
Kennedy,
we're a Detroit network,
there's bad.
And things like this happen.
Kennedy, there's bad.
We are
there's
a Detroit
god-awful.
sports
There's, oh my
network.
God, I've never seen it this bad. There's a pile of manure, and then there's like 1,000 feet of crap, and then there's Jared
Detroit
Goff.
sports. Okay, so let's watch this footage. How many yards do you think DeAndre Swift would have gotten if he gets this ball?
Oh, I've seen this clip. Oh, my God. Well, he's under pressure, to be fair.
There's a ton of these clips.
Okay, so that's a Goff problem. So
Center of the field.
That's called one read Goff. Replay it again. Pause it. All right. Take it back just a little bit. I'm going to pull a joint
Poor
Goff
Westy.
for you guys. All right.
Sorry, Westy.
Get ready. Pause it. All right, so right now, he's staring down one person. Before this edge rusher can get to him, he should have already known that DeAndre Swift's route was likely to be open. Why? Because the 2 linebackers went out to coverage, which means the middle of the field was open. And if I can get the ball in a one-on-one matchup to my running back, who's great in open space, I've got something here. Goff's mistake, he doesn't turn to Jared Goff. He doesn't read it. He stares down the middle of the field like a dunce. And the rest is history. Go ahead, Westfall.
He doesn't go through his progressions. Like, look at this. He's like, I'm out. Doesn't have
All he had to do was throw it in that immediate instance, and it's on DeAndre Swift. Now, I don't think DeAndre Swift scores,
but he gets a gain.
But he's one, you gain yards, of course, but 2, you give him the opportunity to make a play.
100%.
And in this instance, he didn't. So, I mean, it's just Jared Goff for you.
Yeah, there's been tons of those clips all year, and the biggest thing is with Jared Goff, it's one read and committing to that read and keeping his eyes, staring down the receiver. I mean, there's tons of things you could say about it. The biggest thing I take away is this is what happens when you don't have Sean McVay in your helmet. walking you through the play pre-snap, and then post-snap, you're over there looking like a chicken with your head cut off. I mean, this is what it looks like. Anthony Lynn isn't there to baby you. I mean, he's there to give you the play, and Jared Goff's going to have to read it and go through his progressions, and he fails most of the time at doing that. Joik Bell had like a 15-minute segment of him missing reads. I mean, it's gotten that bad, and this isn't nothing new. This is who Jared Goff is, and this is why he was dealt with 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick for Matthew Stafford. That's exactly why.
I like this in the chat. Ballin' with Baydoun. I like it.
I'm telling you, like, you guys want some insight. I should do that one day.
We should. But
I should, but not on a garbage film breakdown. Okay. I mean, breaking down Jared Goff is depressing. So.
Westy has one that I actually do quite like. At 24 and 21 years old, left side, the Jonah Jackson Penei Sewell work. It's pretty good stuff. So here it is.
Okay, good dual block, but they ran. I mean, it's irrelevant if they're running the opposite way. Okay, that was good. They made that hole. That's a good 3-4 yard gain. That's just good pass blocking, good communication. They switch pass rushers. I like it.
I'm just trying to say there's some good. There's a
lot of good. No, there's a lot of good. Penei's been really good the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of the kid. Look, when you're a rookie, you got to expect ups and downs. But this kid has shown more ups and downs, and you got to be happy with it. You got to be happy with it. I'm proud of him. I really am. Good for him. Good for Penei Sewell. Good for Jonah Jackson. Taylor Decker, stay on the bench.
Yeah.
Or go to the right side. Sorry. Do you have a problem with that, Kennedy?
No. But the probability of that actually happening.
Well, and this is why they've been losers for 60 years. Inept decision making.
Yeah.
Not because they're cursed. Not because you live in the city of Detroit. No. Inept decision making at the top. That's it. Simple. So I hope they listen and they keep Penei at the left. If they move him to the right, what does that do for you? You're 0-8. What, you maybe win 1 extra game this year? You're in a rebuild. Get the kid ready for 2-3 years from now, not just in this moment.
Yeah. Trade Decker for a good defensive player.
Short-minded thinking. Small brain energy here.
Small brain energy. Okay, but say Decker comes off the bench out of IR against the Steelers, and he just balls out. Is there anything that would change your mind about what you're saying right now, Adam?
No, honestly, though, let me answer this question for you. It'd probably make you more enticed to trade him. If he balled out versus the Steelers, hey, someone wants him now. He's balling out. And if he's on the left side, I'm sure you're going to get a phone call from Carolina. If he balls out,
deadline's done.
I'm saying in the offseason.
Well, he's gone in the offseason, whether he balls out or not. Guys,
so after June 1st. That's what you think the Lions will actually do, trade Decker.
I'm telling you, between June 2nd and June 7th, Taylor Decker will be traded.
I mean, I think they should, but I don't know if the Lions are going to do it. I don't know.
It's going to happen, or he's going to accept that he's going to move to the right side. And if he does, great. Then the football team gets better immediately. I'm not saying Taylor Decker's a bad player, but I prefer my number 7 overall pick, generational talent, left tackle, to stay, at left tackle. Shame on me. Shame on me. I must be such a bad person for saying that. Cupcakes.
All right, you guys. Cupcakes. On that note, we will go to break, and when we come back, we're going to do something a little fun. We're giving you our all-time starting offense. We'll see if these two agree whose team would beat whose. We've got all that coming up next after the break.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on this beautiful Wednesday. The sun is now out. Good morning. The birds are chirping. And you're hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. As promised, we have our all-time offenses set up for you guys. We could pick anyone that's ever been in the league. So, you guys, let's start at quarterback. Jeff, who do you have all-time offense starting for QB?
Well, I'm
Wait.
Why are you stopping him?
Wait. Before
I'm
he's-
used to this.
Are we doing this based on like who's the greatest or the best team that we can
No,
assemble?
you're picking it.
All
It's
right,
your
right?
favorite player.
All right, good. So I did this
offense.
right. I just wanted to make sure.
All right.
You can do
So
whatever
my
you want.
ideal best offense that I think is
Yes.
unstoppable.
Yes.
Jeff,
Here we
ahead.
go.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. Quarterback. It's Tom Brady. It's the GOAT. I mean, it's pretty obvious for me. There's a couple guys I would want. Like you could talk about the Peyton Mannings of the world, but Tom Brady, he can come back if you're down. He can keep a lead. I mean, that's the GOAT. I mean, 28-3, you saw he was able to do against the Atlanta Falcons. With this offense I'm about to read off, Tom Brady's the perfect puzzle piece for it. And I don't know if I'm assuming you also have Tom Brady, but maybe you have someone you like personally. I don't know.
No, it's Tom Brady. I want the GOAT. Leadership intangibles. I think one of the best pre-snap quarterbacks ever. He can throw the deep ball. His arm is better than ever at this point. I don't have to stress arm talent. I don't have to worry about accuracy. The guy is a leader, and he's the best quarterback of all time. He has to be the quarterback option, I think, for everybody. You don't want Peyton Manning, Marino, Roger. You're not going to take any of those guys over Tom Brady. So I'm happy with that. I think we're both going to agree on that. I think we disagree on everything else on this list.
All right.
100%. No way we have the same list.
My all-time starting QB.
Tim Tebow, I know.
Yes, Tim Tebow, the best
hate you.
game
I knew
of
it.
the
I knew it.
2010s.
You just
the
had to.
Broncos beat the Steelers 12-4. Tim Tebow, my starting QB for my all-time offense. All right, moving on to running back Jeff.
It's Barry Sanders. I mean, I got a guy who can make people miss and just get gains every time he gets the football. And that's who Tom Brady, I swear to God, this man would love playing with Barry. Anybody, especially the rest of my offense, it's gonna alleviate so much pressure off the rest of the team when you got a guy who can shake guys out of their cleats. And in my opinion, he's the best running back ever. He's obviously a Detroit Lion. I'm a little biased, but gotta love Barry. I'm showing some love to him. I'm sure you might have someone creative, I think, in the running back spot. I'm curious to see who you have.
All right, so we have
Jim Brown. You have someone like creative or something.
I mean, your choice was
Barry Sanders.
Yeah. So it's not Jim Brown. It's not O.J. Simpson. It's not any of these guys. It's LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
I get a back that can go for 1,800 yards in a given season and catch for 1,000. Marshall Faulk was a close second for me, and then Barry. But we're talking. I want to build an unstoppable offense. I want a workhorse back and a pass-catching back. I get both in LaDainian Tomlinson. I love it.
All right, at running back, I had to do this one for my boy Miss O.J. Simpson. I've got O.J. Simpson at running back. All right, moving on to wide receiver 1, Jeff.
I'm going with the GOAT, Jerry Rice. I think deservingly so. You got a guy who what? Okay, you know, Adam can disagree all you want. I mean, Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Stickum himself, right?
What?
Horse Stickum himself, Mr. Horse Glue himself.
Okay, listen. But you can't disrespect the GOAT and the records he's been able to break. Even with, he had Joe Montana, but the guy's still undeniably great. So
Joe Montana, Steve Young, yeah.
He's had all-time great quarterbacks, but
no, he's one of the best wide receivers
he's the best
ever.
wide
I'm not
receiver.
dogging him, but I'm taking Randy Moss as my 1A wide receiver.
That's my 1B.
Well, you're gonna love my 1B. So Randy Moss, it's not even a doubt, the greatest deep threat in NFL history. I mean, it's unmatched. His vertical speed.
Yeah,
it's unmatched. It's something I've never seen in my lifetime outside of only Randy Moss. You guys talk about Deshaun Jackson. These guys are like gadget players. This dude can do it all. He can run the fade route in the end zone. He can run slant routes, underneath routes, dig routes, comeback routes. He can beat you deep. That's a complete wide receiver to me. I'm taking Randy Moss.
Yeah, well, that's my second wide receiver, Randy Moss, for all the reasons you just named, and you have the Tom Brady Randy Moss connection already. You got a guy who can go up and snag a catch out the air, and then I have the flip side in Jerry Rice, who is just an all-around GOAT. So I kind of get best of both worlds there. I almost put Calvin Johnson, but at the end of the day, Randy Moss is slightly better than Calvin Johnson.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Calvin Johnson because that's my 1B. I'm getting Megatron at 1B. This is a guy that, again, very similar to Randy Moss. I get a guy that can do almost everything. He may not be the deep threat vertically wise, like just for pace, run a go route and go, but I can rely on Calvin to go up and get me a ball, run my slant routes, run my underneath routes, run a dig, run a comeback route. He can do it all for me. Give me Calvin and Randy Moss with LaDainian Tomlinson and Tom Brady. My God, good freaking luck. Good luck. I love my team.
All right, my wide receivers, I got to go with my Notre Dame boy, Golden Tate, but like prime Golden Tate. And then my other one, Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, not the owner of Lady Jane's, but Ochocinco. All right, you guys, your tight ends.
Tight ends, I'm going Tony Gonzalez. I mean, that's the greatest tight end of all time in terms of production. I mean, Rob Gronk has the most Super Bowls out of all the tight ends, obviously, but this was hard for me. I was either going Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, who is one of my favorite players of all time, or you go Rob Gronkowski up in that conversation. So I don't have a problem with anybody who you pick. I'm going Tony Gonzalez. I mean, the guy, what he was able to do for the tight end spot. I mean, he was a receiving tight end who's also as big as a blocking tight end. The guy was magnificent and arguably one of the greatest tight ends, if not the greatest of all time. So I'm going Tony Gonzalez, baby. Let's rock.
All right, fine. We'll agree. Tony Gonzalez. I think the most complete tight end. I was thinking Gronk or Antonio Gates Jr. Not Antonio Gates Jr., but Antonio Gates. I was thinking, such a dynamic, dominating tight end that Gronk was for that short stretch in New England. And then you look at Gates. I mean, really dynamic, kind of something you didn't see since Kellen Winslow Sr. I mean, he brought a different edge to the game, but it's Tony Gonzalez. He's the most complete.
Yeah.
He's the most complete tight end in NFL history. He's the greatest tight end in NFL history, and I don't think anybody, not even Travis Kelce, can ever top him. Tony Gonzalez was special. His durability, he was just great across the board. So to reiterate my lineup, Tom Brady at quarterback, LaDainian Tomlinson at left tackle, Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson at wide receiver, and of course Tony Gonzalez. I think that's a perfect team. I don't think anybody can beat that team. I think I can cover Jerry Rice. I don't think I can cover Moss and Johnson. And then I think I can contain Jim Brown to an extent. I don't think I can contain LT, given what I have around me.
I feel you. No one's containing this team. Tom Brady, Barry
all teams
Sanders
are probably going 17.
Jerry Rice. No one's containing Jerry Rice or Randy Moss. Tony
Jerry
Gonzalez.
Rice, to be fair, I'd say top 2 route runner of all time.
Yes,
I think that's fair to say.
And that's kind of what I was trying to strategically think of my team. I got Randy Moss, my deep threat, and then I have the number 2 best route runner of all time. Like that's kind of how you want your team. You want a 1A, 1B. You got the flip side. You can go deep to Randy Moss, or Jerry Rice can do everything else for you. But Tony Gonzalez, we agreed on. Barry Sanders, I don't have a problem with you picking LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, the guy's a beast. I just think Barry, he wasn't utilized as much in the receiving game, but my God, if Tom Brady's checking down to Barry Sanders, good freaking luck for those guys, linebackers chasing him. So I don't have a problem with any of these lists. Either way, they're undefeated. Both these teams aren't losing. Does not matter. So.
I mean, people already called it in the chat. I took Tebow at tight end. I had to, just to troll you guys. But also, he wasn't given a fair shake. I mean, what did he get? 1 preseason game, 2?
Who?
Tebow!
Who? Tim Tebow doesn't deserve to be on a sideline. He doesn't deserve to be talking about football. No.
Yes, he is talking about football.
College
he's
football, not NFL. No, he's just the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. How they even won games is beyond me.
He won a playoff
Yeah,
game.
he's worse than Goff.
Wow. Pain.
It's the truth.
I think
Sorry.
my team would beat your guys' teams.
I think your team would probably beat this Lions team.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
I think O.J. Simpson runs all over.
Someone just asked, no slot receivers. You know what? I'll go Wes Walker. I like Wes Walker.
Wes?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm going Cooper Kupp. I'm taking Cooper Kupp, man.
True.
All right, go with Cooper. I don't know why I like Wes Walker. I got Tom Brady with Wes Walker again. It would make it interesting, baby. It'd make it interesting, so we'll go with him.
All right, you guys. Well, I like it. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us today on the Morning Woodward Show.
Tim Tebow sucks.
Unnecessary, uncalled for. Big D Energy coming up next. They will be squad deep. You already know who it is. Neil Rule, Joik Bell, and Darren McCarty. This has been the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. We will see you guys right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place.